Hey everyone, welcome back to BCAT's Youth Arts YouTube channel. This segment we're going to focus on the different mental health apps that we can use through our phones, and we're going to focus on one called MindShift. So this is going to be the first of a little series, and we're going to talk about what the apps are made for specifically in considering mental health, where you can download them. All of the apps that I'm going to go over are going to be free both on iPhones and Android systems. So no need to worry about that. How to use them and just their different features so we can get a feel of, what you can use it for and how it's going to benefit you. So to get started, MindShift is an app that's focused on teens and young adults that are experiencing anxiety. And it's supposed to help you kind of change the way that you think about anxiety and help you get through what you're feeling using their features and using their programs that they have on there. And I think that it's really beneficial, and especially if we have access to these tools on our phones, then it's really easy for us to go right to it in the beginning of our day and make sure that it becomes a part of our daily routine. So like I said before, it's completely free on iPhone and Android systems. And just so you don't get mixed up, here's the picture for the app. And so you download it and you need to sign up, and you put in your email address and you make a password and then you put your name and your date of birth just so they have some demographic information. And then it brings you to the home page, and the home page is really cool because, sorry, I have to get back to the app. So the homepage starts with this, and it asks you put your nickname in, and it calls you by whatever you want to be called, and it asks you how you're feeling, and it's based on a smiley face scale, right? So it can say, you can decide if you're feeling great, if you're feeling good, if you're feeling okay, if you're feeling bad, and if you're feeling awful, right? So it gives you all of those options. So then you go in a little bit further, and it brings you to this page. So you get to rate your anxiety on a scale from 1 to 0. I mean 1 to 10, sorry. And 0 is feeling no anxiety, and 10 is feeling extremely anxious. And then you can write a brief description. It gives you up to 400 characters on what you're feeling that day and just why you're feeling that anxious, and just whatever you might want to remember yourself about what you were feeling that day. And then you go down and you can add any symptoms of anxiety that you are feeling. So some symptoms that they have are racing heart, rapid breathing, tightness in your chest, sweating, dry mouth, lump in throat, upset stomach, nausea, trouble concentrating, muscle tension, let's see, feeling restless and having trouble sleeping, having racing thoughts. And again, anxiety is different for everyone, so not one person is going to feel all of these symptoms, hopefully, unless they're feeling extremely anxious. But even still, this app can help you work through those feelings if you are having them. So then you submit this after you rate your anxiety, you give that brief description, and then you add your symptoms. And what it does is it logs it every day that you put this into the app. It logs it so you can compare the days that you have. So yesterday I put that I was feeling okay. It was a little bit of a rough day, like, I don't know, just I'm kind of sick of being at home, and it's just the same thing every day, and I can't go out and see the friends that I want to see. So, I wrote that in there, and I was having trouble concentrating on my work, so that's what I put in there. And so today I put in that I was feeling happy, and I was feeling motivated, and I was looking forward to making this video, and that was my description. So when you look at the app, you can track your progress. You can see where your anxiety levels are and what your symptoms were, and you can compare your days, because we all have good days and we all have bad days, and that's okay. So again, giving yourself the space to let yourself feel what you want to feel if you're feeling anxious, and also acknowledging the days that you have good days, because that's important. We all are dealing with different emotions right now. We're all feeling a little bit anxious, and that's okay. But this app helps you kind of track that and see your progress. If you are a very anxious person, maybe you can see progress of you getting a little bit less anxious about certain tasks. But this app helps you track that, and I think that's a really important thing because it's a visual graph where it shows you your anxiety levels and it shows you what your mood was. And again, visually seeing your progress is really important. So underneath the daily check-in that they have for you, there is a section with all of these little circles, right? And it's labeled My Anxiety. And so it has sections of general worry, social anxiety, perfectionism, panic, and phobias. And the one that I'm going to focus on is general worry because I think a lot of us are dealing with that right now. And so if you go into and you press on the circle, there is an intro page. And what this does is it lists all of the different areas that you might be feeling this general anxiety and general worry. So the ones that they give are school and work, relationships and family, um, finance and money, the environment and the world, health and safety. I think the last three that were mentioned, all of us are feeling that a bit because, again, we were confronted with a reality we weren't expecting, and it also puts us into a situation where we're anxious about being out in social spaces and being close to people and worried that we are going to get the coronavirus. And these are all valid reasons to feel a little bit anxious. But realizing that you feel them and kind of understanding why you're feeling them and how you can work through that is really important. So it does go in and give you specific examples in all of these categories of why you might be feeling that way. And then another section that they have were like the minor things that, it would be being late to an event or maybe having an assignment be late. And those, again, they're smaller things, but now that we're at home and those are kind of the only things that we have going on, that anxiety might become a lot bigger. And that's okay. You can, again, realize what you're feeling and work through it. So they also they give you the specific signs that you might be seeing. Oh, there's a glare again. In your body, in your mind, and also in the behaviors that you're having. So in your body, I'm going to give one example for each. For the general worry, you might be feeling restless. In your mind, you might have trouble concentrating and paying attention. The second one I do want to touch on is you have a lot of what ifs. What if this were to happen? What if that were to happen? What would I do if this happened? And then with your behaviors, avoiding things that you have to do. And that's something that is really going to affect your anxiety even more. So, say, for example, having an assignment that's going to be late. That is, again, you might just avoid it. If you're already so late on it, you might just say, you know what, I'm not going to do it. But that's going to even cause you more anxiety because you know that the assignment was due and you knew that it was something that you needed to do. And it's just going to kind of end up being a cycle of feeling anxious about that one assignment, and it might lead you to put off other assignments just because you want to avoid it. And again, realizing that you're doing these things is good because this app gives you the strategies to help work through that. So the third thing in these little bubbles are 10 key strategies to use while you're feeling this type of anxiety. And they have them for all of the different types of anxiety. Check in with yourself is the first one. It's always good to check in again and embrace what you're feeling because that's how you're going to get through it. And that's how you're going to realize what you're feeling and how you're going to figure out what we can do to get through this. The fifth thing is to test out your beliefs about the uncertainty. So going back to the example of the late assignment. So if you're feeling super anxious about it and you're just going to avoid it, why not send an email to your teacher and see if that uncertainty you're feeling or the certainty that you're feeling that it's going to be late, you're not going to get credit, you're going to get half credit, whatever it may be, emailing your teacher and saying, hey, I'm feeling really anxious about this assignment. I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do it. Do you think I could hand it in next week? right now we're all going through different things, whether it's work or schoolwork, and again, for you guys in school, it's a huge change for you. So your teachers are gonna or should be understanding, and more than likely they're gonna say, yeah, you know what, I understand, we have a lot going on, so yeah, give it to me next week. And that anxiety is completely alleviated. And you know, that uncertainty that you might have had is now certain that your assignment is not going to be late and you're not going to lose credit. So, and all of those sections have different tips that are specific to those types of anxiety. So again, looking through those and seeing what kind of anxiety that you might be feeling and seeing the tips that you can use would be really beneficial to you. So the third thing on the homepage is tools. Hopefully I won't get the glare in there. Tools to manage your anxiety. So there is healthy thinking, chill zone, and taking action. So healthy thinking, they have a thought journal where you can log your thoughts. And again, if you do it on the same day that you check in, it will attach that log, that journal log, to the way you were feeling. So then you can kind of look at both your description, your anxiety level, and your thought journal to see where those lined up, and you know, you can also track how your thoughts have changed once you've been using the app. They also have coping cards. So these are, and they're categorized with the different types of anxiety, like the general worry, perfectionism, phobias, panic, and social anxiety. And so they give you, you know, general worry. This one is, I can't predict the future, so there's no point in guessing. Again, saying that what if? What if this is going to happen? What if that's going to happen? And again, it might seem a little harsh, but it's an affirmation to you that making those thoughts in your head and kind of following them and not taking control of them can lead you into kind of a whirlwind of anxiety. And the third part is a belief experiment where you can add your own belief that you have. And so you can choose whether it's from work, school, relationships, social, daily life, and other. And so you set up an experiment yourself and you think of a situation and then you test it out and see if it's true or not. And then you can log that as well. So any belief that you might have that makes you feel anxious, you take that and you test it out, and then you can log if it was true or not. If it was true, then that's okay. But if it wasn't, then you're gonna feel better and make a little bit of progress and realize that that uncertain belief or that belief that gave you anxiety isn't what it seems. And you can work through that, and now it's no longer a belief that gives you anxiety. The second tool is Chill Zone. I want to show you what it does when you click on it. And it says slow down and breathe. Okay, so give yourself that time to breathe and to kind of decompress and feel where you're at in your body, in your mind, what you're doing at that time. Are you avoiding things? And it gives you there are 9 different activities, and one is calm breathing, tense and release, an exercise where you tense all your muscles and then you feel them release, and it kind of relieves a little bit of that stress that you might be feeling or that anxiety you're feeling in your body. There's also another one that's called mental vacation, but you can try all of these, and they range from 2 to 6 minutes. So you can do these on a break that you have from schoolwork. You can just take a few minutes and do these to get ready for the next task that you have that day. And you can also choose if you want a male or a female voice, which I thought was a really nice touch. So just seeing what ones work for you and then trying to incorporate them into your daily routine and use it as self-care, use it whenever you're feeling anxious, whatever works for you. I think that's the great thing about this app, because it has a lot of options for what you can do to reach that chill zone and decompress your anxiety a little bit. And the third tool is taking action. So facing your fears. So you log a fear and then you make the steps. So here's the taking action page. So you log a fear and then you figure out the steps that you would want to take to face that fear. And again, all of this is being logged in your personal account. So no one else can see it unless you want to share it. And so it might be you're afraid of dogs. That is your fear. So the one thing is that if you see a dog on the street and you usually would cross the street, maybe that first little step that you take is not crossing the street when you see that dog. And then it can go up, and obviously fears are different for everyone, and bigger fears are going to take a lot more steps, but making those little steps is what's important in facing your fears. Comfort zone challenges is the second one, and that's, again, getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that are new and challenging, just to help you overcome maybe a fear or uncertainty about a certain situation. So if you have social anxiety, an example could be going to a concert, but making sure that you have enough room around you so you aren't surrounded by people, so you're not constantly worrying about what they're thinking about you or what they're going to do and things like that. And then the third one is healthy habits. And this is to, set small goals if you want to be more healthy, and taking small steps. So say you want to exercise more, making realistic and specific goals. So you want to exercise more, so take 2 days out of the week and exercise for 20 minutes in that morning. That was an example that they gave on the app. And again, starting small, it may seem silly, but it also will help you make progress a little bit more, because if you throw yourself into a exercise routine that takes up half your day, then all of the things that you're supposed to be doing are going to go to the wayside, and then you might feel a little bit more anxious. Or if you don't complete your workout for that day, it's going to cause anxiety as well. So taking those small steps, making them happen, and feeling proud of yourself when they do happen is awesome. And it'll help you feel a little less anxious about maybe not exercising as much or whatever you might be feeling. Moving on from the homepage, I can't believe all of those things were on the homepage, like such awesome tools to use to help manage your anxiety. You can move on to learn, right? So what these say, what is anxiety? What happens when we're anxious? When does anxiety become a problem? Where does anxiety come from? How can I overcome my fears? What is cognitive behavioral therapy? And this is a type of therapy that is used to help change your thoughts about anxiety or about a behavior that you might be having. So this app incorporates cognitive behavioral therapy throughout all of its exercises, and that's really awesome because that's something that a therapist might work with you on, or might use that theory and that practice to help you get past how your anxiety is affecting your behaviors or certain behaviors that you might be having because of your anxiety. And then it also says, how can MindShift help? And that goes without saying that all of these apps are going to help you make progress and help you make the changes that you want to make when we're talking about your anxiety. The other section that we have goals, which is, again, going back to that healthy habits aspect. But you can set goals in any situation in your life. But again, starting small and making them realistic and specific and things that you can accomplish. Because if you set your goals way too high, it's going to overwhelm you and it's going to make you feel even more anxious. So making sure that you can realistically achieve these goals and feel proud of yourself when you do is really important. But again, this app tracks all of your goals and how and when you accomplish them. And I think it's just so cool because you can see your progress in a visual way. And then the last thing is you can share your progress. You can email them to a friend, a family member, or a therapist if you're seeing a therapist. You can share the app with anyone that you think might benefit from it, which is awesome, because if you know a friend that's feeling anxiety and isn't really doing anything about it, you can say, hey, I saw this video and this app seems to be really helpful if you want to try it out. And again, if this app doesn't work for you, that's totally okay, but at least you tried it out, and it could also just be a learning experience for you about what kind of anxiety that you're feeling. And you can share your story with others, and as far as you want to. You don't need to share everything, anything that you're comfortable with, but sharing your stories, you might realize that a lot of people feel this more than you would think. A lot of people are experiencing anxiety every day, maybe every other day, maybe once every month, whatever it is. We all are going through this in some way, and being able to identify it and to work through it and track our progress is going to make us feel so accomplished at the end of the day or at the end of the week, to see how your anxiety levels have either increased or decreased, and just saying to yourself, hey, I know I'm feeling this way, but I am making moves to help myself. And I want to make these changes, and I want to change the way I think about my anxiety. And that in itself is progress. Downloading this app and even checking in, if you only check in twice a week, maybe you're going to see progress with those 2 check-ins. The reason why I like this app so much and I wanted to share it is because if you're feeling these aspects of anxiety and you don't know what they are because no one has taught you what anxiety is or how it manifests in our body, this app can help you identify your own feelings of anxiety and how to work through them with the tips and the strategies and all the different features that they have. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you try it out if you are feeling anxiety, because it's really important to take a step for yourself to make the changes that you want to see, whether it's about how you think about your anxiety or how your anxiety affects your everyday life. So tune in next time. We're going to go over a different app, and I'm so excited to share it with you. If you like this video, hit a thumbs up or comment down below. And I hope you all are staying safe and healthy and not feeling too anxious about the world that's happening outside our homes right now. But remember that we're all in this together, and we all will get through this together. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.